industrial times, it is important to stay ahead of your competition. We all know the best way to do that is to have them done away with. For this, you'll need a hired gun. Inconspicuous in nature, the assassin does their best to blend into a crowd by wearing clothing suitable for a common man or woman. Though if you are a man, it is best not to befuddle yourself and dress as a woman. Here we see a typical example of a hired gun. Dressed in common street attire, this gentleman cleverly conceals his weapon beneath a durable double-breasted leather peacoat, so that no strange bulges attract any unwanted attention. Hello, ladies of the night. His weapon of choice is the 404 Annihilator, a compact yet powerful device signified by the energy bulb above the hand grip. When used at close range, this weapon will ensure only metal objects remain of your intended target. This can then be presented to your client for payment. This lady is attired in such a manner as to blend in with her surroundings when the need calls for it. Her modest shirt, jewelry and vest let all around her know that she is just part of the scenery. Nothing to see here, move along. Should she find the need to distract the target before doing away with her, her pin skirt acts as the perfect means of distraction. Sumptuous legs have always been the great man's greatest foil. Indeed, her weapon of choice is Locksmith's charged particle projector, handy for close to mid-range targets. Its 4 mini barrels and 5th major barrel in the middle ensure that swiftly moving targets are not missed. The use of these weapons will most certainly equal a satisfied customer. Professor Benjamin Albert Brown, renowned scientist and explorer with the Thunderbus, his latest innovation. This weapon is a steam-powered sonic projector which emits a low-frequency directional sound pulse. Wow. This pulse, depending on its amplitude, can repel, render unconscious, or ultimately kill any living creature it should be directed towards. Utilizing a newly discovered element with properties not unlike those of radium to provide the heat which powers the production of steam in the power plant, this steam in turn drives an electric generator, powering the professor's patented sonic oscillation device, the source of the sonic pulse. The pulse emitter is housed within the body of the weapon, which, when activated, releases the charge to be focused and directed down the barrel and out through the sonic compression valve. At its lowest setting, the Thunderbus produces extreme discomfort, described by those unfortunate enough to experience it as an intense vibration emanating from the inside of one's body. The sensation is so unpleasant, the only course is a full retreat. The second setting instantly renders the victim unconscious. This setting, however, does not seem to cause any discomfort or any apparent harm. The final setting kills, instantly. And when an animal is further examined internally, massive organ damage is evident. Despite his capacity to kill, Professor Brown primarily developed this weapon to render unconscious specimens for his personal collection, as he is an avid student of the natural sciences. His collection of wildlife is widely considered to be the most extensive and varied of any collection in private hands, and his contribution to the understanding of the natural world is highly regarded by the world's scientific fraternity. The life of a tinkerer is fraught with danger, not just from those chasing them about complaining about faulty products or repairs, but sometimes from their own creations. Automations, weapons, armor, you name it, a tinkerer makes it. For her own protection, she carries her own patented ray gun, auspiciously named Dr. Heidenstein's extravagant Exomagic Exterminator 9000 trademark. Much larger than conventional ray gun, it packs a larger wallop, sometimes to the detriment of the user. To compensate for potential malfunctions, she also carries a 4-barrel pistol shotgun, aptly named Good Old Shoddy. For protection, observe the steel helmet and well-designed flak jacket, fitted with almost every form of defense you can think of, and even some she didn't. The gas mask and air tanks provide clear oxygen when working in not-so-friendly places, or if your latest customer decides to throw you out into space. Have once again outdone themselves with this next weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the latest in both amusement and psychological warfare, all rolled into one elegant package. As many of you may be aware, for countless years now, we've been able to use a wax cylinder and a little operating gadget by which one can hear the actual words of someone else, just as they were spoken some time ago, even when they're nowhere to be seen. The chaps at the Royal Military Science Academy had applied this technology to our armed forces, creating a hurdy-gurdy-like device capable of playing the most frightening sounds imaginable. The power armor of a soldier wielding this device today has been modified to withstand the close-range acoustic bombardment of this weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not try this at home. Soldier, please engage the hurdy-gurdy. The Victorian fashion scene found its inspiration from all corners of the British Empire, and from the military hardware that cemented its status as the world's greatest superpower. The celebrated spring-heeled jack ambulation scaffold originated designed for infantry in the most inhospitable environments imaginable, enabling the average soldier to move faster, jump higher, and scale unstable surfaces. A squadron of soldiers in spring-heeled jacks could cover 400 miles of rough terrain in one day. Spring-heeled jacks also set incredible records for distance, speed, and endurance. A Frenchman named Pierre Delorier tackled the Sahara Desert in 6 hours, but perished in a later attempt across the Arctic. The first spring-heeled jacks appeared on the catwalk, prompting a frenzy in the fashion industry. But the hazardous nature of these devices soon became apparent as a progression of individuals were admitted to emergency rooms with an alarming range of injuries, dislocated joints, broken bones, amputations, and occasional mortars. Quite often the result of the entanglement from the wearer's clothing. Prince Albert, a patron of the jack, mandated a licensing system to operate an ambulation scaffold, although the most dramatic reforms took place in terms of ladies' head length. The Conservatives complained loudly about the decline of morality as young maids, uninhibited by rolling folds of dresses, showed off their skills upon the jack while showing off their stockings. The Moulin Rouge now has a specialist showgirls who perform the can-can exclusively on spring-heeled jacks. Sorry, gentlemen, tickets for the show have a waiting time of 2 years. the tattered remains of Confederate and Union forces fought under a single flag against the invading British air fleets, reclaiming the American colonies in the name of Queen Victoria. As the unfinished Capitol Dome smoldered, American forces employed a dangerous new cannon, developed by Thomas Edison, their last faltering hold on freedom in the hands of a device capable of reducing an army to ash. As its air superiority was compromised, British General Blimp retreated his massive aerial fleet and deployed several assault teams armed with Professor Nicolas' infamous radiated heat cannon. Lightweight and maneuverable, these highly trained and experienced cannon squadrons decimated entire armies. Frontal assaults from the American forces were soon replaced with hit-and-run guerrilla tactics. The ashen ruination of the landscape and the scorched earth policy of the retreating Yankees had the conflict nicknamed the Black War. Cannon engagements were brief and brutal, with some squads lying in wait for days to surprise an opponent, as the war culminated in a showdown between the fire teams of each nation. President Lincoln surrendered the territories of the United States to Queen Victoria. The Americans were once again part of the British Empire. The guerrilla forces continued to resist the occupation. Substantial rewards for the renegade General Custer and the diabolical Professor Edison, dead or alive, are offered by the Governor General. If you know of their location, please report them to the Ministry of Truth.